As was happening more and more often, I hadn't slept much, and I almost had the feeling I dreamed everything. Had I really received a bloody challenge from a lunatic with a mask? I needed confirmation, and the HPD office seemed the best place to look for it. Today's Miami Harbinger. Who knows if it might suggest something interesting. Father Verb, one of the most influential and controversial figures of our time. The Harbinger had even published the first page in color in his honor. Years before he had received the Nobel Prize for, I don't remember what reason. Then he disappeared from the scene. Apparently he had recently decided to return with a book attacking the project Alternative Sentence, launched by the United Nations a few years earlier. I didn't know much about it, but I suspected that soon everybody would be talking about it. The HPD refused to share their progress on the blowtorch investigation. It was standard procedure, initially maintaining absolute radio silence from the press, and then throw them a little bone in the days after. Unless Gwendolyn Pratt had an interest in the story, that snake would have been able to slip into Burton's office through the window just to get the scoop. I had to go to Molesberg's mansion as soon as possible. To do that, I faced two problems. I had to convince Seamus Burton to give me access to the crime scene, and recover the keys that kept Green Dart imprisoned, which I accidentally dropped in the sewer. It would also be useful to visit the alley again, where, just a few hours before, I received the challenge. In the daylight, some new clue might emerge. To enter the building, you needed a specific pass that the camera would check before opening the door. Wheelo was the one responsible for distributing the entry passes. Hey, Wheelo. I need permission to enter, Wheelo.
The HPD is not open to civilian. You should know that full well. But if you need to press charges, let me know.
I came to visit Seamus, Wheelo. Is it necessary to be part of the CIA to see him?
Curious that you mentioned the CIA.
Oh, God. Let's just do this old school. You scratch my back, and I scratch yours. Deal?
Actually, there is one thing an ignorant peasant like you could do for me. Do you see that red sports car?
It's impossible not to see that fireball.
A fireball parked for 3 days in a spot reserved for a public official, namely me. I tried to have it towed, but they just ignored me.
I can't imagine why, but okay. I'll make that car disappear sooner than you can formulate another conspiracy theory.
If you need tactical support, let me know.
I'll go check if the package I've been waiting on for 3.5 months has arrived. Hey, Wheelo, do you mind if I borrow this marker for a while?
What do you have to do?
I can use it to get rid of your illegal Parker.
Alright, go ahead and take it. I prefer the old method anyway.
I will never understand why you keep using quills instead of normal ballpoint pens.
Pens contain microchip for satellite tracking. Didn't you know that?
She was planning to commit to film every detail that might be worth showing to her relatives. That fountain was horrible. I didn't know why she took pictures of it so earnestly. The fountain wasn't especially elaborate, and to tell the truth, it also seemed out of place. It emitted a hypnotic water jet, though, neither too violent nor too calm. After the whirlwind conclusion of the blowtorch case, I had smoked an entire pack of cigarettes. I left just 2 for emergency situations. In my mind, something unexpected was going to happen. Absolutely legendary. The fountain emitted a... Maybe in there I'd have found something that might have helped me get rid of the illegal Parker.
Hey, you! What are you trying to do?
I was checking that all tools are in compliance with the security regulations for roadworks.
Are you a trade unionist?
No, I'm just a citizen who values the safety of our good Masons risking their lives every day.
If you really care about your health, leave those tools alone.
I consider myself a bad boy exactly for these kinds of ideas. Hey, boss. Some punk must have targeted your amazing brick wall. There it was. The kleptomaniac's heaven. Found an adjustable wrench. A worn out but still usable mallet. Yeah, and a brand new measuring tape. Would have surely forced the coroner to move it away, but I would have exposed myself too directly. What I needed was a more cunning and indirect approach. If the parking culprit lived nearby as I suspected, he would certainly witness the disaster that was about to befall his roadster. I let the water pressure do the rest. Now, it would just be a matter of time. The place is all yours, Wheelo.
Lazarus Bundy. What a chance encounter.
And things go from bad to worse. Man, I didn't realize how dirty Green Dart was. I really need to deal with something else right now. Come back later, okay?
Information can't wait. But above all, it's the American people who can't wait. They deserve to know. And right now, they are crying out to hear what law enforcement is doing to protect the great country which is America. In particular, what Lazarus Bundy is doing to prevent a dangerous criminal from continuing to slaughter innocent people.
Well, I could tell you about how my brain practically spilled out of my ears from the beating I took just to save a girl. But then your article would read, Detective Bundy loses brain and culprit.
That means you had some gray matter left when you let the Metro artist and the nightclub gigolo slip through your fingers?
Is giving nicknames to criminals the best you can do? Apart from appearing just when something goes wrong?
Gotcha. You're admitting the last case went wrong. Rumor has it that this umpteenth failure was also your last failure, Bundy. Rumor is that Seamus Burton refused to have your back after Blowtorch, the monster that shook Miami, escaped capture.
Rumor is also that a certain detective could sue a certain imposter for slander.
Do you want to stand against the freedom of the press? I have the people on my side.
Are you talking about those morons that read your sensationalist and defamatory stuff?
Very well. The Red Scarf Detective insults honest citizens.
Why am I still talking to you?
Because I'm about to give you a loophole out of this spiral of failure. In 2 days, I'll be shooting a special in front of Ramos's house. A program in which I'll reveal all the info I have on live television, whether provided by official sources or not.
And I should be that official source, I suppose. You know, I think I'll respectfully decline your proposal.
I got wind that the detective in charge of the case had voluntarily let David Ramos get away. According to a credible witness who wished to remain anonymous for safety reasons, there could be a history of corruption behind this.
I've never accepted a bribe in my entire life, Brad. You know that full well.
That is your truth. Do you think it's intriguing enough to become the preferred truth of the people? The ball is in your court, Bundy. It's up to you to decide whether to shoot it or pass. Bye-bye.
So that harpy had chosen her scapegoat to sacrifice to the national press. What was I supposed to do at that point? Would I go back where it all started, or would I let them tear me apart without even trying to defend myself?
Hey, Lars. Was Gwendolyn Pratt the woman you were talking to?
What? Don't be silly. You know Pratt avoids me like a plague. Never mind that. What do you have to say about my parking job?
Yes. An impressive performance. Although I'd have done it faster.
Stop wearing out my eardrums and grant me permission. This is my modified temporary pass. I was sure I lost it years ago.
I kept it as a symbol of your egocentrism. You're the first and only one to ever insist on having his photo on a temporary pass.
A Korean piece of junk, ugly as its owner's mug. I prefer the car of the illegal parker. I wouldn't want a car like that even if it was a gift. Not to mention that Green Dart could probably go faster than that beater, with less pollution. Ramos, immortalized from his best side. The notes on the bulletin board were mostly focused on possible sightings of blowtorch, a constant in Miami in those days. My colleague was visibly focused on a case of the utmost importance. The Weird Cases, aka the department that dealt with investigations into mysterious events. The real mystery was why Burton kept on investing funds in such nonsense. Any time I stood in front of it, I would feel a chill run through me. I'd never seen that girl before then. Evidently, she had replaced Burton's old secretary, who recently retired. The change hadn't been unfavorable. Hey there.
Good morning. What can I do for you?
How formal. In this office, the air is already stuffy, despite the windows being open.
You are right. This is an office, sir. Therefore, there's a standard we must adhere to, and I can't afford to make mistakes.
First day of work, huh?
First day of internship, actually.
Terrifying. Once I did an internship at a post office, and I was forced to lick stamps for 3 months. Eventually, I acquired the ability to climb walls with my tongue.
That's not my case. This is exactly the place I'd like to be.
Are you kidding me?
The mystery-filled atmosphere. The walls soaked with a strong sense of justice. The excitement of not knowing what your next case will be.
Or if you'll be able to pay the monthly rent?
That is really not uncertain. This is an unpaid internship.
I feel you, sister. Now, can you let Burton know that I'd like to talk to him?
I can try, but I don't think the inspector will be receptive right now. Whom do I have to introduce?
What? Don't you recognize me? I'm the one and the only incomparable Lazarus Bundy!
You are Lazarus Bundy? They called you the Mutt at the academy.
Hey, if I get my hands on the ones calling me names...
They meant that when you take a case, you grab onto it like a dog with a bone and don't give up until it's stripped clean.
Oh, well, in that case, I cannot disagree.
I'll promptly announce you, Mr. Bundy. I'm sure Inspector Burton will be happy to receive you. Mr. Burton, Detective Bundy is here asking to meet with you. Can I let him in, sir?
Bundy, you said? Let him through.
All right, sir. You can go in, Mr. Bundy.
Thanks a lot, Miss... what's your name?
Alice. Alice Sharp, sir.
Alice. Nice name. Oh, Alice.
Yes, Mr. Bundy?
Please drop the formality and call me Lars. I'm not your superior.
Okay, Mr. Lars.
Bundy, I wasn't expecting to see you here so soon.
I couldn't stay away from you for more than 12 hours, old boy. How's Isabel?
She has a hairier chest than you and more pants than me. What are you doing here?
I decided to be elusive. It didn't make sense to involve the department in a story that, up till that moment, I wanted to keep private. I still can't get used to the idea of sleeping as long as I want, and I'm struggling to fill my free time.
Don't start with your games. Nobody's buying them. I bet you're here to snoop around the Mullsburg case.
I did hear something in passing on the TV. What can you tell me about it?
Nothing you can't hear on the news tonight. Normal kidnapping case. A teenage victim, Catherine Mullsburg, daughter of Eric Mullsburg, one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in the city. The latter details suggest two possible scenarios. We could be dealing with a pro, or better yet, with someone desperate who will be shaking in his boots at the first sign of a threat. Imagine, we haven't even warned Mulsberg of our involvement in this investigation. We just limited ourselves to putting his phone under surveillance at the request of the police. Soon we'll get a contact, the pressure cooker will pass to the negotiator, and we can go back to dealing with the scum.
But this is a strong media impact case. Not solving it would mean compromising the reputation of the HPD.
I always liked the way you turn the tables, kid, but you won't push me into asking for your help.
Don't make me beg, old man. Give me another chance.
And then it would be another and yet another. You would never give up, and I'd find myself constantly covering your ass.
If you refer to the blowtorch case, I already thanked you 1,000 times for saving my skin from that maniac serial burner. Despite the nail-biting finale, though, the girl is safe. We can discuss protocol and procedures, but at the end of the day, that's what really counts.
If you had waited for backup as planned instead of going rogue, we would have saved the girl and taken our man. Now Ramos is on the lam with a rap sheet that would put a terrorist to shame and with his goddamn blowtorch.
Rap sheet? You checked the criminal records of the tenants in that building. They were all spotless.
Because he committed his crimes under the name Hector Manchada during his stay in Mexico. Those incompetents downstairs let a man accused of rape and violence against women slip through their hands. Idiots.
That's why you need me. I never allow such a disaster.
No, you've caused a totally different one. You've been reckless. You acted without thinking, and if we're being frank, you also got beat up like a shrinking violet. Now open your ears and listen up, kid. This old Irish ass has spent most of his life within these walls and recognizes when a career has come to an end. You can't work anymore. The sooner you accept this reality, the better.
I get it, old man. You're all heart and fatherly advice. I made a mistake coming here, and it's wasted my time.
Just hear me, kid. It's not redemption you need now.
Burton was immovable. I could usually extort any kind of favor from him, but not that time. I needed my badge if I wanted to take up the challenge posed to me. I asked myself where it could be stashed. In Burton's very own office? And if so, how to recover it? One thing was certain. I needed help. And maybe I knew where to find some. Hello.
Hi.
Are you really interested in obtaining this job?
More than anything else. Ever since I was 10 and watched noir movies with my dad, I dreamed of investigations, spy stories, chases.
Those were only in-movie situations, but I considered it appropriate to curb my sarcasm for once. This girl could be very helpful. With such enthusiasm, you're gonna go far. Did you study anything before getting here?
I studied computer science in depth at the academy, and some kinesics.
Oh, finally, someone who might understand Wheelo when he talks. I'm sure he barrages me with curse words, under the guise of his exotic language.
Willow Wee is Vietnamese, not Chinese. And kinesics is a science that studies body language.
It sounds complex. What's its use?
It helps me understand if a person is being honest. I am certain it will be helpful here.
I was wondering, that white lock of yours.
Everybody asks about my lock, and nobody receives an answer. It's personal.
I know it may sound strange, but I need your help.
I couldn't refuse even if I wanted. I'm an intern, remember?
As it turns out, I am presently unemployed.
What? A veteran like you fired?
Right now, it's not important. What matters is that I can't work officially anymore, and I find myself conducting an investigation off the books. But I can't do that without my badge.
Wait, you're going to ask me to get it behind the inspector's back, aren't you? You're not really asking that of me, a first-day intern, the bottom step on the social ladder, are you?
You bet, intern.
I could possibly accept, but what do I get out of it?
Some healthy, real-life work experience.
I must warn you, though, if you call me intern once more in that tone, I'll put my fist in your eye so forcefully that it will match the color of your scarf.
I think I can resist the impulse. So, done deal?
Done deal. What do I have to do?
I need a distraction for Burton, and you would be the perfect bait.
I knew I should expect such things when I accepted the internship. Add my phone number to your contact list.
Of course. How do I do that exactly?
I see my tech skills will be very helpful to you.
See you soon, intern. Alice.
Ugh.
Hello, good man.
What?
Can you tell me how long this work will last?
I know your type. You're one of those who likes complaining to his superiors. Go bother someone else, loafer.
I just wanted to chat. I don't even work here anymore.
Then you're just wasting my time.
You ain't seen nothing yet. You know what? I don't think I'll ever be able to look at a blowtorch again without shuddering.
That Ramos has forever tarnished the noble art of welding. Someone should really teach him a lesson.
I hope it doesn't have to be me. About wasting your time. Why did the blacksmith turn the radio off?
No, please, no jokes. I don't...
He doesn't like heavy metal. That made me laugh so hard. Do you know why a blacksmith goes to the doctor?
Wait, I don't...
Iron deficiency.
Can I get back to my work now?
They just fired my friend, who was a blacksmith.
Please, no more.
He had lost his temper.
You're unbearable.
Okay, this is a long one.
I wanna die.
There's this blacksmith who urgently needs an assistant, so he hires the first novice he finds. The first workday starts. The blacksmith takes an iron bar, heats it, and puts it on an anvil.
Now I take out the bar and put it on the anvil, he says to the young apprentice. As soon as I nod my head, you hit it as hard as you can with the hammer.
Those were his last words. Well, maybe you'll get it later. Enough with this nonsense.
Thank God.
I'll go enjoy this amazing sunny day on the seashore.
I hope it's stormy.
As always, Miami left me breathless. One of the many city parks where you can go jogging by the sea. Not that I ever jogged in my life, but sometimes I lurked on some bench watching the girls running. I would have gladly gone to the beach rather than spending my day at the office. Well, maybe I would do it later. Miami stood out against the horizon, dazzling as always. It wasn't exactly an easy city to live in, with its alarming traffic and no subway. But for me, it had always been a place where the sun rose. Another amazing sunny day in Miami. Yet that day the sky had, I don't know, something magnetic. Something very strange was happening over there. That's what happens when you run after the truth too hard. I don't know what prompted me to attach that magnet to the window, but sometimes I like to follow my instinct. I suppose asking you to borrow the drill would be too bold.
Yeah, I'd let you take it, since it belongs to that inept fool on the street. But then he would go postal on me, and I would never hear the end of it. But if you want to use it here, I'm fine with it. Go ahead and drain the battery completely.
Yes, I perforated the magnet exactly in the center. Useless junk, except maybe for one board longer than the others, and a metal tube. Having a metallic object of considerable size in my pocket could be advantageous. I really like the idea. I could combine its magnetic potential with the tube's length and strength, resulting in a diabolical device. I realized, though, that the magnet pull would not be enough to keep the two pieces firmly joined together. I'd have to think of something else. That way, the two pieces wouldn't detach anymore. Asking the blacksmith was definitely worth a shot. Hey,
What do you want?
I need your incredible ability with the welder. You see this pole?
I see it. And you can stick that right where the sun doesn't shine. If you really want to bother someone on the work site, try that drunkard near the newsstand. He really loves killing time with bores. Not that wasting time is really a problem with those horrible walls he raises up.
Rude and mean, but I could sense some resentment towards the Mason. Maybe I could exploit that to my advantage. I balanced one of the boards over the void, creating a suspended bridge. By securing the board to the railing, the crossing would be considerably safer. Now the board was well secured on the side of the balcony with 2 nails, while the planter held it firmly in place. Unfortunately, the mallet broke during the hammering. It was obviously more damaged than it looked. The crossing would be dangerous, and the motivation pushing me to act was way too weak. Yet I felt I needed to go through with this story, no matter what. It was already the second time in a matter of days that I found myself spying on someone through a window. I hoped it would not turn into an obsession. Now it was up to Alice to get Burton out of my way.